Hi, everybody. It's Barbara, and we are getting down to the end here because Close to My Heart's getting down to the end. So we're doing Honey Bunny Scrapbooking Workshop. This is page 2. We've got just 2 workshops after this, and then it's all over, very sadly. I decided to add a little bit of Seabrook glitter paper to this just to add some sparkle because I did it on the first layout. And so I just cut a strip, I believe, about a 1/4 inch. And I'm adding that to that glacier strip that's in your that you cut for your kit here, and just trimming off the edge there because the glacier strip's about 10 3/4, and I cut my Seabrook glitter paper at about 12. You could do that on both of the pieces because you've got this piece on both the first page and the second page. So it's like a 1/4 inch by 10 3/4. Then, if you've watched any of my videos, you know I'm not big on drawing lines, and they have you draw black lines on it. And there's 2 reasons I'm not doing this. First of all, I just don't like the look. And secondly, I don't think black, I didn't want to add more black into this layout because we've already got a here and there, but not enough to really make me want to use black on this because these are all spring colors. So instead, I went ahead and did some dry embossing to add texture to that white piece instead of drawing the lines, which is really what they were kind of trying to do, just to add so it wouldn't be so very, very white. So did some dry embossing on my scoreboard instead, and I like that look a lot. Another thing you could do is you could run that through an embossing folder, or you could rough it up on the edges. There's just, a lot of different things you could do other than necessarily drawing those little lines, which I just don't like. Just don't. So now it just gets easy because there's no weaving like on page 1. You're just going to add all of these right next to each other. Now, I can tell you that one thing I noticed when I was doing this was that not so bad on page 1, but on page 2, my pieces that I cut were not exact. And so there was one's a little bit longer, one's a little bit shorter. So they're not perfectly even when, at the bottom and the top. So I did the best I could. I could have sat there and cut them, but it's really hard to cut like a 1/16 of an inch off. So another option to do that is you could have gone ahead and cut like a 10 3/4 by 10 3/4 white cardstock, put all these on, lined them up and turned it over, trimmed off the excess edges, and then put that in the middle too. So that's another option if you are real picky about that. So next up is photos. I finally found some photos and I'm going to use on this. My niece and nephew got to go, believe it or not, to the White House Easter egg roll because they kind of have a sort of famous government official in their family. And so they got to go to the Easter egg roll. And so I'm going to probably be using those pictures on this. But in the meantime, this is going to be used at the Mega Meet coming up in Novi, Michigan in a couple weeks as an example. So I didn't put my photos on yet because I like to usually use my photos as much as I possibly can. So anyway, oh my gosh. It makes me sad as I'm doing these voiceovers that this is all ending. But I'm going to be super busy because I have a brand new house that we're buying May 31st. So I'm just going to go on a new adventure in life. And if you need Stampin' Up! Stuff, which is where most of the Close to My Heart makers are going, please use Valerie Turner, good friend of mine, and a person who you can trust and will be great at customer service for you. And she, I think, has some of these workshops because they're no longer available on the Close to My Heart website. So if I will just put her Facebook page in the description so that you can go ahead and go to her if you need one of these workshops because they are gone. So, and I don't have any. So, give Valerie your business, especially if you're going to start buying from Stampin' Up, which is going to have a lot of close to my heart stuff. So don't think that you're just moving on to Stampin' Up. This is going to be, you're going to see some big changes now as they bring scrapbooking into the Stampin' Up world. All right, so I don't think there's anything too fancy on this one. I'm trying to think if there was anything I needed to tell you. I think the only thing is when I started decorating the upper right, I couldn't find, sometimes the things that you need to find are right in front of you. I couldn't find this one little tab that I needed, but it was right on the sticker sheet all along. So I'll show you when I get to that part so that you don't make the same mistake I did and you'll know where they are. But basically there's two tabs that are used on this second layout, and they're both on the very left of the page. So I don't know how I couldn't see them, but I did. I just could not see them. So now this piece, I started to put all these on, and I was peeling off the backing. And then I realized that because I don't have pictures on, I don't want the backing on the right-hand side to be peeled off. So see, here I am peeling it off, and that's going to go on my photo, and I don't have my photo down yet. So suddenly I thought, okay, oh shoot, I need to put these back. So I took them off the other pieces that I do need to stick, and just kind of added those back on to cover the right-hand side of that sticker so that it doesn't stick to the photo placeholder, and it'll be ready for when I put photos on, and I can always take it off later, right? So now it works, yes. But that's a little trick if you lose your little backing pieces, which I wasn't going to go digging through my garbage for those. All right, so now we're just doing some more decorating, and for some reason, I don't know what happened here, but the color hearts that they use on the layout, I just seem to be missing all of them. I was missing one, and so I used a different color, and then that was supposed to go somewhere else. So it doesn't really matter, of course, because all of these are very color coordinated, but the hearts that you'll see me using are not the ones you're going to necessarily see on the direction. Sorry about that, but somehow I must have used on page 1, I must have used the wrong heart, and that threw the whole thing off. But it doesn't matter as long as you're using one of those little hearts, right? So that's where I am looking. Where's these heart colors I need? So I just went with it, right? All right. Now, so up at the upper right is where I missed that tab. So I was looking for this tab that's right over on the left, and it's the pink tab. And so I just decided to skip it because somehow I was blind. So that goes under the Good Times piece, and you'll see me put it on later in this video. But I just decided, okay, well, I don't have it. I don't know where this went. So I put down the Good Times and then the little butterfly and just called it good. But later, my eyes were opened and I found the tab. And so you'll see that at the end of this video. Okay, let me see. Oh, yeah, we're going to add the dots. And those ones, I was having trouble deciding whether there was medium or large that they had. It's so hard in proportion. So just go with what you got, It doesn't really matter. Nobody's going to look and say, wasn't that supposed to be a medium dot? So there you go. Done with page 1. Let's move on to the second page. Again, I'm now going to put that little bit of glitter paper on. You could have done it at the beginning when you had both of them together. And just trimmed off the edge. It's always fun to add in some glitter paper, Don't let those supplies sit in your closet. Actually pull them out and use them. This is one of the perfect ways, too. Because just a little bit of shimmer is so pretty on this. And if you don't have the glitter paper, pull out your shimmer trim. So I've already dry embossed this white piece here. So, again, this page is really good, but you're going to see mine's a little bit, I was struggling because my pieces were not cut accurately on this. I try my best, but you're zipping through that cutting, right? And it was so tiny, I couldn't have cut that strip off without bending the paper, and so whatever, right? So I manipulated it so it's a little bit too tall on the top and a little bit too tall on the bottom. So, but nobody's going to notice. Nobody is going to notice, because if you did a good job, what they really should be noticing is the photos, right? That's the first thing. I was just talking to somebody on Facebook, and they had done a layout where you didn't notice the photo. The photo was like the third or fourth thing you noticed because their embellishments were so big. And my rule of thumb is, if my eye isn't drawn to the photo first, I didn't do the right thing. Because as much as we like it to all be about the art, the whole idea is to show off your photos, right? So if I'm, I try to keep the photo as the focal point for me. All right, now on these, you're going to do kind of a diagonal thing. So the glacier mats are diagonal to each other, and then the little butterfly ones are diagonal to each other. But you could mix it up. It's up to you. One of the nice things about Close to My Heart, too, in their workshops is that once you put one thing down, usually everything else just will line up against that, and oh, man, that made things so easy. It didn't really require a lot of measuring. You measured that first one, and then everything else is kind of just, a quarter inch away, an eighth of an inch away. I don't know what Stampin' Up! Is going to do. I hope that maybe they'll bring in some of the Close to My Heart people, and the influence of our scrapbooking that we've done all these years, and take advice. Maybe even hire some of them would be great too, because I think that we had something very special at Close to My Heart. And I know we were never as big as Stampin' Up!, but I think that we really had a lot of expertise, and so I hope that some of that gets switched over to their scrapbooking section that is hopefully going to expand there. And Stampin' Up! Is a great company. I almost signed up with Stampin' Up! Way back when. And I actually went with Close to My Heart because it was more scrapbooking oriented. So now I think they're going to bring a lot of scrapbooking into Stampin' Up! And you'll be happy with that. All right, now it's just time to decorate. So what do we got? Middle section here. Now on the Life is Good, I just put one long strip of foam tape in between the mats because I don't have my photos down yet. And then I stuck that Life is Good piece down. It doesn't have to go all the way down because I don't have my photos on. Once my photos are down, I can either glue on or just leave it as is. And then I put the butterfly, because my photo isn't down yet, I put it on the Life is Good, so it's not actually touching that photo placeholder at all. And then just add in some of your little dots. And then, as I said on the very first layout, I am big on the self-adhesive journaling strips that I can cut at any speed, cut at any size. And so I use those instead of cutting the journaling strips from the white cardstock. And I bought a bunch of these before they were all gone, so that I would have plenty to last for hopefully a few years, because I love them. I use them all the time. So I think I put 4 down there. And now we're just going to tuck some pieces and finish up this section here. I think a couple dots. I think the largest blue dots on this one. And there's such nice balance here. Now look, even without the photos on, you can tell that the layout is put together in a way where the photos are going to be your focal points. And that's what people are going to see. It doesn't get, the embellishments are too big. And if they are larger, they lead your eye to the photo. So I think it's a good question to ask yourself is the photo the star of the page? And then I think you'll be much happier when it is. All right. So that one's going to be popped up there, the all smiles. And you see I finally found the tab there. I finally found where those tabs were on the sticker page. And then I thought, oh my gosh, I got to do a little video at the end here to show where that tab was supposed to go. And this one I laid down flat, even though they popped it up. And then this part I popped up. So I put two pieces of foam tape on there. One at the bottom, that's not going to have the backing removed. And then one at the top, because I went crooked, had a little difficulty, that I will remove the backing and then stick that up there. And then again, I was looking for a heart, and that heart of the color that I needed was not there. So I just chose another heart that's on there. So I may not have what I need for layout 3, but we'll work with it, right? All right, so here we go, back in time for a moment, and I find where that stupid tab was. And so luckily I didn't, these things were not down, really, really seriously, or I could have used some undo. So I just kind of tiny, did a little pulling there and put the tab in, put everything back down, and stuck that butterfly back on there. And that leaves you with the 2 pages of this very pretty layout that are quite complementary to the first one too. So thanks for joining me for this one. I've got one more to go for you.